over the top that found him in space just outside of the area, and his pass across the middle. Lafont should probably have done better with it. He'll look at replays and he'll feel like he really should have done better with it. It's a simple one to grab a hold of, but it's bobbled just before him and it spilt back off his chest, and the only player that reacted to it was Guelo Kanga. So despite the effort so far, it is the side that are certainly out of the African Cup of Nations. In Gabon, they are leading now by a 1-0 against Ivory Coast. And now Ivory Coast will get themselves back and things back underway with a pass back to Seri, out to Inau Ulai. Now Agbadu. Across to Diamonde, out right to Zahori. And now with Dearkite. Dearkite back to the halfway line to Diamonde. Now to Agbadu. Out to Operi. Further down the left-hand side for Zahar. Just outside of the area. Can he get across it? And he's gone into the challenge now. And as he fell on the ball, he's knocked it behind for a goal kick. The referee's pulled it back for a free kick against Buketa. He stuck the leg out as Zaha had knocked the ball past him. It's a certain free kick, right decision by the referee. No complaints either from Muketu. The referee just counts out the yards. It's almost by the corner flag. It's effectively a corner for Ivory Coast, but it's going to be an outswinging one nonetheless. Players up from the back. You've got Diamonde and Agbadu. 12.5 minutes gone. Gabon 1, Ivory Coast 0. Goes in towards the middle, flicked towards the back post by Dearkite. In comes Kessie, his ball back across the middle's blocked. It's bounced back to the edge of the area, now to Seri. Seri's cross comes back in towards the middle. It's headed away from his goalkeeper and it's dropped behind the goal. It's going to be a corner for Ivory Coast, but out comes Bakali and it's Muketu that's nodded the ball over the crossbar. I don't think he knew where the ball had gone as soon as he got his head to it. His keeper had gambled. An in-swinging corner from the right.
Cameroon moving the ball from right to left as Mbuemo running forward, threads the ball through to Kafode. This great save by the keeper, and they'll be behind for a corner. Kifani of Leverkusen breaking through, did get the assist for the goal in their last game against Ivory Coast. Couldn't break the deadlock tonight. Obviously, Cameroon know full well that they need to win and win big if they're going to top the group this evening. Ball comes in from the right-hand side, flicked towards goal and then cleared away by Mozambique, but Cameroon can recycle possession. Goes through and ball in. It's half cleared again by the Mambas. Ball out left and swung in towards Divas. Taken a touch and cleared away again by Mozambique. And ball just bouncing around in the box and played across. And there's an excellent chance for Cameroon. It's gone over the bar. Magri got his foot to it and can only lash it over in the end. Keeper out of position. There's a good defensive block in there as well from Kumbako. And an excellent chance for Cameroon goes missing. Goal kick for Arubal. Didn't play the last game. Obviously only 3 survivors from the Mozambique side. Referee already just asking the Mozambique players to hurry up with their kick, and it's Nene that will bring it forward, and he finds Nanani on the left-hand side. He hooks it up the line, but Cameroon win the defensive header, and they'll flick it forward, and Ball in for Magri to chase. Will go straight through to the keeper, who launches it long for Ratifo up top on his own this evening to chase down, and good play from the Cameroonian back line. All change in there from their second game. Nano, the only man to stay on, the captain. Ball down right to Biomo. Just checks back and plays it into Niamsi, who plays a long diagonal forward, chested down by the substitute Langer, and straight into the arms of the keeper. Nanami comes forward and finds Kitamo, and he's been tackled, and they'll break away Cameroon. Flick forward for Magri to chase, and he manages to bring it down and wriggle his way to the edge of the area and crowded out by a sea of red shirts. And Mozambique bringing away. Kitamo again finds Kambola. Played out left for Gildo. Gildo's got plenty of players around him. Langer's gone outside, but chooses to go back into midfield. Interception from Cameroon, and they'll come forward. Plenty of players out right. It's with Namaso on the right hand side attacking the corner of the box. Plays it back to Mbuemo. Left footed comes inside for Kemen. He'll spread it left for Nagida. Nagida right out on the touchline. Goes back to his captain, Nahau. He'll find Brighton's Carlos Baleba. Everyone behind the ball for Mozambique. Namasa finds Baleba again, and Cameroon just forced to go backwards. Plenty of bodies in there for Cameroon, and Retifa's going to press really high and forces Cameroon to go back to a Passy in purple this evening. He launches long, flicked away. Cameroon pick up the seconds. Nagida plays it down the line for Cafone to chase, but it's going to go out of play. So 20 minutes gone here in Agadir, and it's still Mozambique 0, Cameroon 0. Apologies if you are just joining us for some technical difficulties we had at the start. We will be here to bring you the rest of this match day 3 coverage, the final group games in the African Cup of Nations. Mozambique were forced into an early change. There's Bruno Langer of Paphos playing in the Champions League this season, coming on for Diego Kalila, right back. The man who scored the third goal in their historic win against Gabon. Nagida in possession, finds Baleba. Baleba just a couple of step overs and goes inside to Kemen. Kemen decides to go on a mazy run, but is forced backwards again. Cameroon happy just to build patiently. They will know that Gabon currently lead the Ivory Coast, so opportunity for the Indomitable Lions to top the group, which ultimately could give them a slightly easier pass in the knockout phases. Likewise, Mozambique will know that if they can finish either second or first, they will probably fancy their chances more. So as things stand in Group F, Cameroon will top the group this evening. But as we all know, plenty of time to go. Mozambique with the ball on the left-hand side with substitute Langer. Hooks it up the line for Retifo's flattened by Niamsi in that centre-back position. So free kick on halfway for Mozambique. our referee from Morocco this evening. And there's been another goal in the game, in the second game of the group. It's a second goal for Gabon. So Gabon 2, Ivory Coast 0. So massive opportunity for both of these sides this evening to go on and top that group and set up a match with Burkina Faso in the knockout phases. Mozambique coming forward with Katoba, and he shoots and he scores from distance. Just as we said, there's an opportunity for a side to put their name at the top of this group. Mozambique in the 22nd minute. The Mambas take the lead. And it's Jenny Katomo of Sporting, plays his football in Portugal. And he's already got one goal in this competition in that win over Gabon. Curls an absolute stunner with his left foot from outside the box. Into the bottom far right corner. Definitely a key player for this side. A golden assist in his last game, and he's put his side in front here with a fantastic strike on his left foot. One bounce past the keeper, who was fully outstretched. Couldn't do anything about it. And there's heads in hands from the Cameroonians. And wow, what a start we've got this evening in Group F. Mozambique lead Cameroon 1-0. And in the other game, we've got Gabon 2, Ivory Coast 0. So Group F, as it stands, would have Mozambique at the top on 6 points. Cameroon second with 4, and Ivory Coast in third. That will change fully throughout this evening, I am sure. What a fantastic start to this game. Niamsi with the yellow boots in possession finds Belabor on halfway. Cameroon will attempt to move it from right to left, but this high press from Gatomo is going to really force Cameroon back to Apasi, the keeper, who plays it out left and finds Nagida. Nagida can't get it up the line, and that will be a throw in to Mozambique. David Pagao, the Cameroon coach, looking incredibly frustrated on the sidelines. What a story this would be. So it's already historic with Mozambique winning their first game in the AFCON last time out to secure through to the knockout phases, and they're coming forward again. There's a good tackle in there in the end. Nanami, who switched to this right hand side since the substitute, breaking forward and trying to shoot from distance, but a foot in the end by Cameroon, and the label will come forward. He then loses the ball in midfield, trying to do too much with it. Mozambique come away, and on this right hand side find Nanami. Plays it up the line into midfield. And there's plenty of space for goal scorer Katamo. Tries to go around Niamsi but loses possession. Katomo, everything going through him for the Mambas. Cameroon come forward on the centre circle, finds Mbuemo, passes outright and gets it back again. He attacks the corner of the box, flicks the ball in towards Magri, but cleared away by the team in red. Mozambique happy just to keep possession and knock play around. Dream start for them. 26 minutes gone. Mozambique 1, Cameroon 0. Intercepted by Cameroon high up the pitch, and it's Kafan who's got the ball on the edge of the box. Plays it to Namaso. Works it with shooting opportunities. Shot is blocked. Ball will come back with Cameroon, but unfairly, according to our Moroccan official. Barge in the back from Biomo, and that'll be a free kick to Mozambique. back underway in the defensive section for Mozambique. Chamboko goes back to keeper Urabal. Goes into midfield and finds Kambali. He spreads it out right. Difficult pass for Nanami to take down, but he does well. Nanami clips it up the line. Flicked on by Dominguez, but can't find Retifo up front, so ball back in the Cameroon possession. That's the bright yellow boots of Nimasi, who goes right to Boyoyo. He finds Mbuemo still out on this right-hand side currently. The Manchester United man, looking to try and get into the game as best he can. Labour finds Kemen, who clips the ball over the top. There's an opportunity here. Keeper comes spread it out and is bounced in off the post in the end and is still not clear, and ball in the back of the net. Cameroon have their equaliser, and it's going to be an own goal from Nene, I believe. Magri steams into the net and picks up the ball and sprints back to halfway. A real mess at the back for Mozambique, unfortunately for them. But Cameroon weren't behind for long. They've got their equaliser. Came from a Kemen ball over the top for the Massa to chase, and the original shot from Magri hit the post, and then Nene, in the act of trying to clear it away from the rebound, ends up hooking it into his own goal. And the man who plays his football in Mozambique for the Black Bulls, the Mozambique champions, won't want to see the replay again. He tried to, from the floor, slice it away and ends up putting it into the back of the net. And Cameroon have their second goal of the tournament, and it's another own goal after their equaliser against the Ivory Coast also went down as an own goal after Chimedo's strike took a big deflection. So we have parity here again. 29 minutes gone. Mozambique 1, Cameroon 1. And that goal changes everything. It will put Cameroon back at the top of Group F, with the Ivory Coast in second and Mozambique in third as it stands. Gabon still 2 goals to the good against Ivory Coast. Dove twisting and turning. The dreadlocked Mozambique defender can't get the ball out, and it will be a throw in for Cameroon right down in the left-hand corner. In fact, the assistant has changed his mind, and it's going to go the way of the defensive side, and Nanani can clear it up the line, but headed back by Cameroon, and Namaso in midfield finds possession. Plays right to Mbuemo, but stolen away by Kambala. Kambala will break forward for Mozambique. He's got Kamato outside him, and Katamo will get to the byline, try and put a ball in, but sliced away by Tolo in the defence. The Cameroonian captain now be able to play for a corner on this near side for Mozambique. Katamo doing everything he can to get his side forward. There's plenty of excitement in the crowd. Half an hour gone. A goal apiece for both sides. So Mozambique 1, Cameroon 1. Cameroon equalising with a own goal through Nene. Corner's going to be a left-footed in-swinger from goal scorer Katamo. Forward he comes, swings it in towards the back post, headed away by Namaso. And they'll be able to play for a throw-in on the left-hand side. Namaso, who had a brilliant game against the Ivory Coast, not really able to get into this one with the same effect so far. Throw-in goes from left to right, and the ball with Nanami of Mozambique on halfway. Passes back to Chamboko, who will pass it to his partner Dove on the left-hand side. Trades passes with Nene and forced to go backwards here, Mozambique, under a bit of pressure. So ball into midfield with Kambala, and he's gone down and wins his side a free kick. 34, Manuel Kambala, plenty of experience in there. You've got to feel that he's going to need all of that in against Carlos Baleba and Olivier Kemen this evening. Keeper Urabal comes forward and launches the ball out right for Mozambique, but Nagida's header for Cameroon and goes into midfield, brought down by Retifo. And he finds Dominguez. Ball diagonal towards Retifo, but out comes a passy to claim well, and there's a bit of a clash of heads between the two. The referee would just halt proceedings to make sure that everyone is okay. It's looking like Stanley Retifo's come worse off here. Good diagonal ball in, and good claim from the keeper, but just left a little bit with his elbow on Retifo unintentionally, I believe. So hopefully all okay there. So Cameroon missing Jamedo, who ended up being credited with the assist for the goal against Ivory Coast after his right-footed strike from distance took a deflection. In the end, it went down as an own goal. And then obviously another own goal this evening. So Cameroon making sure that 2 of their 3 goals in this competition have been own goals so far, but they all count. Niamsi plays it forward left-footed in towards Namaso, but it's won back by Mozambique. Kitamo on this right-hand side. Just relays it back to Chamboko, who finds his goalkeeper. All in light blue. He clips it forward up towards Retifo, who's back on and takes another whack in the head, but play continues as he rises to his feet quickly. Kitamo battling away with Niamsi, and Niamsi brings him down, and that'll be a free kick to Mozambique right in front of their dugout, just inside the Cameroon half. Kitamo plays it short and then tries to go diagonal on the rebound, but it's stolen away by Mbuemo, who finds Nagida on this left-hand side. Nagida finds Kemen, who's ball unlocked in the Mozambique defence for the goal. Plays it into Kafan, who goes down, and that'll be a free kick for Cameroon midway inside the Mozambique defensive half. Cameroon just decides to keep possession and end up recycling it back to Davis Apasi in their goal this evening. Kemen drops deep again and plays a raking ball out to the left-hand side for Nagida to chase. One touch down towards the byline. Lovely take, and tries to put a cross in, and it's deflected up in the air and out of play for a corner on this near side. Nagida stayed down after a clash with Nanami, who went sliding in to try and block the cross. Doesn't look like there was much contact between the two players. Good tackle in the end, but studs were showing. So Nagida still is down off the pitch, which is a bit of a worrying sign for Cameroon. Nagida replaced Yongwa in the starting lineup on that left-hand side this evening, as Cameroon sent plenty of players forward. And interestingly, Niamsi, the very, very tall centre-back, is being marked by Gildo for Mozambique, who is giving away a good foot in height. So that'll be one to watch. And it'll be Namaso who's gone over to deliver. Whether he can find the head of his defence. It does come in towards that man. It's cleared away, up in the air, and then Gildo thumps it long. There's a free kick anyway. Referee says that Boyomo used his arm as he went up for a header. See the replay. Yeah, arm raised. It did flick off his arm as Dove tried to clear it away for the Mambas. Fantastic story in this Mozambique side. Obviously, we know that their win against Gabon was the first time they've won in this tournament, and therefore will get them through to the knockout phases. But Dominguez, the captain, 42 years of age. It's a fantastic story. As the ball's played forward for Cameroon, it's Magri who goes round the keeper and then slots it home. Cameroon have the lead, but for how long? Because the whistle goes. Referee has his arm raised and the assistant on the far side's flag is up in the air. It's looking like it's going to be given as offside. Another long ball over the top. In fact, it was Kafan who broke the line and rounded the keeper. He was offside. Lovely finish. Made very light work of Urabal, the keeper. Just put him down and rounded him to the left. And slotted home, but just went too early on the run. Free kick for Mozambique. Urabal, the keeper, goes long towards Gildo's on this left-hand side. He plays the ball down the line for Retifo to chase as he goes towards the byline. That's good defending there, and he'll muscle it out of play. And Retifo saying that his shirt was being pulled by captain Tolo. But nothing given other than a goal kick for Cameroon. Still 2-0 in the game between Gabon and Ivory Coast for Gabon, but too little too late for them. Unfortunately, they can't qualify due to only being able to get a maximum of 3 points, and obviously losing to Mozambique 3-2 last time out. It does mean that head-to-head is the initial way that the African Cup of Nations uses to separate their sides in the group phase. So Gabon cannot go above Mozambique, even if Mozambique lose here this evening, due to that head-to-head record. But 40 minutes gone here, as Tolo is down getting some treatment on the back of his leg, looking like his hamstring. A little bit of spray going on there. But 40 minutes gone, Mozambique 1, Cameroon 1. Great game so far, with lovely atmosphere between the two sets of fans. Party time for Mozambique, as we know already. And we're going to see an early replacement here. Tolo gives the armband to Apassi, his keeper. And we're not going to see any further play for the man who plays his football in the MLS for Seattle Sounders. Obviously, with Cameroon already through, and you'd hope that it's just to protect the captain. Makes his way off to a round of applause. Looks to be moving fairly well, to be fair, so hopefully just precautionary, with plenty of games to come. And we're going to see Christopher Woe, hair tied back in a ponytail, coming on to replace him. Would be a straight swap, but David Pagao, the coach, just giving Carlos Baleba a few instructions. So after a couple of minutes delay, we're going to be back underway after that injury, and now captain Apassi launches the ball forwards. Lovely chest control from Kafan, and brought down but no foul given. And Mozambique would try and bring it away. Nice footwork from Gildo, then flicks it forward, and that's going to hit the arm of Kemen and be a free kick for Mozambique. Gildo, who was on the left-hand side, has come over to this right and looking quite tricky when he does get on the ball. as that substitute is confirmed. It's Christophe Woe coming on. It's looking like he will slot straight into that left-sided centre-back role. Ball forward, and Nimasi's going to try and battle for that ball and wins it off of Retifo. Looks up and plays a big diagonal out to the left-hand side. Keeper comes out of his area and then lets it bounce back in, and at the very last second picks it up in front of Kafan. Flirting with danger there, the Mozambique keeper, Ivan Urabal. One of the 8 changes in this Mozambique side this evening. Mbuemo wins it back for Cameroon high up the pitch. Finds Baleba, who comes forward, who threads the ball through. It's going to be whipped in on the right side. Pulled back from Mbuemo, whose shot is blocked, and that'll be behind for the corner. Bouncing off of Emilson Dove. Put his body where it hurts. Good positional play from the defender. And that was definitely goal bound. That strike from Brian Mbuemo. Struck it with his left foot and hit it well, side-footed. It was both Kambala and Dove that managed to get the block in. So corner over on the far side for Cameroon. It'll be a left-footed in-swinger. Plenty forward, in it comes. It's headed away at the near post. Disappointing ball as Katamo takes it away for Mozambique. Plays it off of Kemen and will win his side a throw-in on the left-hand side. Just inside his half still. Everything positive. Out perhaps into the bottom right hand corner. Ball flick forward for Mozambique, and Gildo on this right hand side now would chase, but it's going to roll all the way through to keeper and captain Apasi, who just picks it up and plays it out left to Nagida. Nagida goes across from left to right and finds Niamsi. Niamsi finds Woe, that first half substitute after Tolo had to go off injured. Trace passes with Nagida into midfield, and nice footwork from Namaso and Baleba to bring Cameroon away. Namaso rides another challenge and then threads the ball through towards Kafan, but cleared away. Good defending by Mozambique, and that long ball will go all the way through to the keeper, who plays it out quickly. We're ticking towards half time, about to find out how many minutes added on there will be. Ivory Coast have got a goal back in their game. They now trail 2-1. So very close to changing all again in Group F as we have 4 minutes added on here. Niamsi on halfway, strides forward and finds Baleba after just checking back, and Baleba's going to clip a ball in left-footed towards Nagida, punched away by Urabal. Still in possession of the Cameroonians inside the Mozambique box, and Nagida on the left-hand side whips the ball in, headed away only as far as Namaso, who can't get it under control. And then Mozambique will try and bring it away through Retifo. Foot in from Woe, but can't steal the ball. Ends up knocking it out for a throw into the Mambas. Decisive punch there from Urabal, come flying out ahead of Nagida to get the ball away. Good goalkeeping. So 46 minutes gone. 1 minute of the 4 added on has passed. Urabal, the Mozambique keeper in light blue, steps out of his box and plays it long and central towards Gildo, who manages to get up and is holding his face. I think he's clashed heads with Baleba as they both went up for the header. So stoppage in play. No foul given by the referee. It was a fair challenge by both, and just a slight clash of heads on the right side of Gildo as he got up and just collided with the elbow. So half of our 4 minutes added on has passed, but there's going to be extra added on to that as well, as we've now got another injury down here. So if you are just joining us, we had some technical difficulties early on, but apologies for that for the first 10 minutes. We were back live in time to see Jenny Catano of Mozambique curl a fantastic left-footed strike to get the opener. And then after a scrambled clearance, Nene for Mozambique couldn't get the ball away. He could only poke it home into his own goal for Cameroon to equalise. And that has been the goals so far in the game. As we are back underway, Cameroon's Niamsi coming over the halfway line and sends a diagonal out left for Nagida to chase, but it's going to go all the way through, and that'll be a goal kick for the Mambas. Plenty of musical instruments, lots of drumming in the crowd as we come towards half time. It's party time for Mozambique, as we already know. Country is going to be absolutely delighted to be through no matter what to the knockout phases, but for one moment when they took the lead they were top of Group F, so just shows what might be this evening as we come towards half time. The Nani does well to steal the ball back from Mozambique, but unfairly according to our Moroccan official Jalal Jayed. So free kick for Cameroon in the centre circle. Namamso takes it early and loses the ball in midfield. And Mozambique come forward and ball clipped out left for Catano to chase. Manages to rescue it on this left-hand side. Steps back, but the flag is up, so that will be offside. Catano's scored his goal from the right-hand side, and Jalal Jayed has decided that that is enough for the first half here in Agadir. So Mozambique 1, Cameroon 1. Mozambique taking the lead through Jenny Catano of Sporting Lisbon with an exquisite finish with his left foot from 20 yards, curling it past the keeper into the bottom corner on the 23rd minute. But Mozambique, the man, was only ahead for 6 minutes after a long ball over the top from Baleba. Was chased down by Frank Magri, who managed to flick it towards goal. It initially came off the post and he was bearing down on goal for the follow-up. And it was only down to Nene to try and hack it clear from his prone position on the floor, but could only slice it into his own nets. So, as things stand currently in Group F, it will be Cameroon topping the group this evening on 5 points. Ivory Coast will be second on 4, and Mozambique will be third on 4. But as we know in football, and it already has so far this evening, plenty can change. So far, Mozambique and Cameroon have been in possession of that top spot. So come back for the second half to see how it pans out. But here in Agadir, it's Mozambique 1, Plenty for him to aim for in the box. Also wearing the captain's armband now since coming on. Delivers that ball towards the front post. It's flicked on by Nyamsi, and that was wide of the goal. And that'll be a goal kick, but Nyamsi with that incredible height advantage. As we see the replay, actually probably came off of Magri last, so goal kick, right decision. So just confirming those substitutes. So Basagog has come on for Man United's Brian Mbuemo, and it's Etta Ayong coming on for Carlos Baleba. So change of shape for Cameroon in this second half. Etta Ayong scoring the winner in the first game against Gabon. But it's the Premier League players of Mbuemo and Baleba coming off. Obviously Cameroon know they are through. But it's just finding out who they will play against. Mozambique with Dove come forward on the left-hand side. He swings it up the line towards Ratifo, but thumped away by the Cameroon defence. But Gatamo manages to pick it up in midfield. Sliding tackle, he rides and finds Ratifo again, who smuggles the ball away, but good tackle in there from Kemen. And forward come Cameroon with Magri. Goes to Nagisa outside of him. Sliding tackle in there by Mozambique's Nanami. Started the game at left back in the early changes for Mozambique. Has had to switch to right back. He's been in the wars a little bit. Another sliding tackle in there with Nagisa, who they came to blows at the end of the first half. But Nagida this time okay, and he takes the throw into Magri, and ball in towards the box, cleared away but only half-heartedly. Cameroon still have it. It's a long strike from Kemen, and that goes high and wide. So there's a Mozambique player down, sat in the box. It's Nene, who was the unfortunate one to score the own goal. He's got his head inside his shirt at the moment, and looking of disappointment, I guess. So it could potentially be an injury here for Nene, which means he might not take any further part this evening. And obviously all these Mozambique players will be absolutely desperate to be fit and ready for their first knockout game. He's back on his feet with the physio side and looks okay as he makes his way off, getting a little bit of support. But the shirt once again goes over his head, so it looks like it might be the end of his evening. Just had confirmation that the substitute wasn't actually Etta Ayong coming on, and it was Camden instead into midfield for Cameroon. So he replaced Carlos Baleba. Mozambique currently down to 10 players, but in possession with Nanami, who finds Katama on that right-hand side. He gets away from his man and will dribble towards the box, but great foot in there from Kemen. And Cameroon come away on the left-hand side. Ball threaded to Namaso, who moves it on again to Magri. Jinks in from the left-hand side and gets clattered in a tackle, and the referee says fairly. Mozambique turn over possession, and they'll go long again to goal scorer Katama. On his left foot goes past Woe, but a good tackle from the Cameroon substitutes. Katama has stayed down, but play will continue as Cameroon bring it over halfway. Ball struck out left towards Namaso, manages to keep it in for the team in white. Namaso's lost the ball in possession again, and topsy-turvy game. That's a big sliding tackle in there from Kemen from behind. The referee says that is a foul to Mozambique, but no more. Punishment dished out. As we see the replay, Jenny Katamo losing the ball in dangerous area. Stayed down holding his foot, but looks to be okay. Back underway, and the Mambas of Mozambique in red in possession. Ball flicked forward by Kambala, but that's going to go out of play on the left-hand side. So throw into Cameroon is just being halted because there's going to be more changes here. So 2 changes for Mozambique. And it's looking like a change of captain as well. So Edmilson Dove picks up the armband. We are losing Shambako, who is making way. And also Dominguez, who was captain, the 42-year-old, has run his race for this afternoon as GABON and Abdallah come on. So Bond and Abdallah, the reinforcements, and Dominguez and Shambako, the players to make way. So forward come Cameroon with Niamsi, who finds Basogog and just decides to cut inside on the left and pass it back to halfway. Cameroon still in possession and had seen most of the ball. In fact, it's actually Nene, the man who scored the own goal, has definitely now come off. So we haven't lost Chamboko yet. He's still on the pitch. So Nene's been replaced by Abdallah. Cameroon force themselves a corner over on the left-hand side. Bit of a miscommunication, and Camden's ball was not dealt with by Mozambique. So corner on the far side for the Indomitable Lions in white this evening. Currently holding top spot in Group F as results stand. See Niamsi, as the ball comes in, clearly pushes Gildo down to the ground. I said there's a major height advantage difference there. There's complaints from the Mozambique defence that there was a foul and the corner's going to be retaken. So it'll be another right-footed in-swinger from Namaso. Plenty of talk, as there's always been in this tournament so far, from the officials around the set pieces. And it comes right-footed in towards the middle. It's flicked towards goal, but cleared away on the second attempt by Mozambique, but only as far as Namaso out on that left-hand side again. Neat footwork as he goes towards the byline, stands out towards the back post. There'll be a strike on goal, and from Kafan, can't find a route to goal. He plays it back to Camden, whose shot is very easily saved in the end by Urabal. As we see Kafan strike, completely missed it in the end, but managed to then control it on the second bounce. As Katana goes to ground over on the right hand side, wins his side a free kick. 54 minutes gone. Mozambique 1, Cameroon 1. Cameroon in possession of top of the Group F table as they steal the ball away. Kafan is going to shoot from distance and absolutely thunders it into the top corner from the right hand side. It's a absolutely incredible strike from the 19-year-old who plays his football for Bayer Leverkusen, and that is a strike of sheer class from the young man. A high turnover in possession from Cameroon, and the ball was threaded to Christian Kafan, and he just cut in from the left-hand side onto his right foot. This is even further out than Jenny Katamo's goal earlier on in the game. Poor pass from Kambacho has been punished, and it's a great strike in off the bar on the top right-hand corner. Thundered off the bar, bounced on the line and then into the goal, the roof of the net again. Incredible strike. And I must say, Cameroon do deserve the lead after going behind. And they take an even stronger grip on the top of Group F with that goal. 55 minutes gone. Cameroon find themselves in front after going 1-0 down to Mozambique. 19-year-old Christian Kafan putting his name forward to be in the reckoning of goal of the tournament so far, surely, with that strike. Beautiful hit. Plenty of noise from the stands as Cameroon know that that goal is crucial for them. So the winners of this group will play Burkina Faso in Marrakesh on Tuesday nights. So they also get an extra rest. And currently, Mozambique, who will sit third in the group, will play Nigeria on Monday in Fez. Nigeria been brilliant in the tournament so far. So that'll be a really tough test for this side. Winning all three of their group games, Nigeria. Only them and Algeria able to boast that record so far. As things stand, Ivory Coast will be second in the group. And they will have a really intriguing game against South Africa in Rabat on Sunday, as things stand. Katama with some lovely footwork and goes past Wu, and he's been absolutely flattened on the edge of the area. That is a booking for Christopher Wu. And the opening goal scorer of the game took a large whack there. He's a really impressive player. Big shining light for Mozambique, and only at the age of 24, plenty of years in him as well. And I'm sure he will be the stalwart of this side for many years to come. So Christopher Woe into the referee's book. Came on late in the first half as a substitute for Naho Tolo, the Cameroonian captain. So four-man wall, and Jenny Katamo is okay to pick himself up and take this free kick. Well, he looks favoured to. He's got GABON with him, who is the right-footed option if needed. There's Bondo actually comes forward and strikes it into the wall, and half cleared by Cameroon. So back on halfway with Chamboko. Goes back to Urabal, who will kick it high and long for Guido to chase on this left-hand side. He does well and finds the ball and goes to ground, asking for another free kick. As we see the previous effort from GABON, the replay thundering into the chest of Christopher Wow, who gave the free kick away. Basagog for Cameroon in the right-back position. Flicks it long, and it will come back for Mozambique in the middle of the park. Kambala, great pass to Katomo, but stolen away. And Cameroon would try and come forward and force Mozambique into a mistake, and that'll be a throw-in for Cameroon just in front of David Pagao, their coach, who will be relieved after he saw his side go behind this evening, as we're going to see more changes for Mozambique. And Jenny Katomo, who's been fantastic again this evening, goal and an assist in his last game, and a goal this evening, left-footed strike into the bottom corner, well worth a watch if you can find it. He's going to come off, taking a few whacks, so probably to protect him. Melito is going to come on. So Melke Melito. And the other change is going to be Chamito coming on for Retifo up front. So Stanley Retifo had to lead the line on his own, and difficult match for him against the three centre-backs of Cameroon, completely outnumbered. But an hour gone here in Agadir. Mozambique 1, Cameroon 2. Cameroon coming from behind. That 22nd minute goal that put Mozambique in front. Ball lofted forward towards the new man, Chamito, and he managed to flick it on. And it's cleared by Woe, so that'll be a throw-in midway inside the Cameroon half for the Mambas. As we see another change for Cameroon. It's going to be a B-mate coming on for Namaso. Namaso vital in that second game against Ivory Coast. Really ran the midfield for Cameroon. Been a bit quieter this evening. But after 61 minutes makes his way off. I'm sure he'll be back in the starting 11 for the knockout phase. Throw in from Langwa. As Mozambique go from left to right, and Nanima plays it in to midfield. Kambala will twist and turn and then play it up the right hand side. That's going to go out of play and will be a goal kick for Cameroon. Nanami did his very best to catch his own ball, but actually fouled Nagida in the process. Those two have been at it all evening. Two flying fullbacks up against each other. Still Ivory Coast trail to Gabon in the other game, so no changes in the table as it stands. For Cameroon to give up top spot, if the score stays the same here, Ivory Coast would need to turn their game around. So after the Cameroon Ivory Coast game finished 1-1, obviously the head-to-head would be the same, so Ivory Coast it round to lead 3-2, currently 2-1 down. They would be top of the group, but lots to do over there, and who's to say we're finished with the goals here in Agadir. 63 minutes gone. Cameroon bring the ball away. Seems to have gone to a back four, change of shape for the Indomitable Lions for this second half. Coach David Pagao just potentially trying a few new things. Ready for the knockout phase. Ball up towards Basogogu, who gives it back to his right back, but stolen away by Langer for Mozambique. Kambana recycles possession to Emilson. It's taken over the captain's armband for the Mambas. Ball forward for Chamito to chase. Chamito puts good pressure on Niamsi, and that'll be a throw into Mozambique right down by the corner flag. Our Moroccan official just making sure that Langwa goes all the way down, was trying to take his throw from much higher up to give himself a bit of a better option in terms of angle. Langwa chooses to throw it back to Dove. Frustratingly, Mozambique now work their way all the way back to the keeper from a throw-in very high up on the left-hand side. Urabal gives it back to Edmilson Dove. Flicks it up the line for Chamito to try and flick, but loses his header. But he does win a free kick on the left-hand side. There was a push in the back there from Niamsi. Niamsi's got such a height advantage over almost everyone in the Mozambique squad. Why he needs to throw his arms into the back of someone there, I'm unsure. Chamboko sends it long for Chamito to chase, but they'll pick up the second ball, Mozambique, on the right-hand side. Chamito will have it, puts the ball in towards Gildo. It's too high for him, and will fly all the way through. Basogog doing some defensive duties, the Cameroon captain. Hooks it clear. Magri will try and bring it down, but Mozambique do really well to steal it back. Midway inside the Cameroon half. Emilson Dove stepping in from defence and stealing the ball away. So free kick to the side in red. Plenty of changes since half-time, and I feel like the flow of the game has just been disrupted due to that. Obviously both sides know that they're through, so a bit of a strange dynamic. Obviously both sides playing for positions in the group, and that would depend who they then match in the knockout phases. Langworth's going to strike the ball towards goal, and it thumps into the one-man wall, and will go out of play for a throw-in. It's a good 50 yards out there, Bruno Langer. The man who's applying his trade in the Champions League for Paphos of Cyprus this year. Throw into Dove, but Mozambique working from left to right on halfway, and Kambala looks up and chooses to go short to Chamboko. Chamboko swings it out to the left and finds his captain Dove. Dove with the yellow boots sends it forwards towards Abadala. Not dealt with by Cameroon overly efficiently, but they do then hook it away, and that will bounce over the halfway line where Nanami is waiting. He sends it forward again for Mozambique, and they try and pick up the second ball with Langer on the left-hand side. Ball into midfield finds Abdallah, but he's had it stolen away by Magri doing his defensive duties, and Cameroon through Kemen and Camden in midfield get them moving forward. Boyomu on the right-hand side. His ball towards Basogog is not a good one, and he thumps his thigh in frustration. That'll go all the way through to the keeper. Keeper Urabal in light blue chooses to go short to Nanami. He then goes long for Chamito to chase, and he wins the second header, and that will go down for Melito, who plays it out right to Nanami, who's been all over that right-hand flank. Just keeps running and running in this match, but he can't keep the ball in, so it'll be a throw-in on the left-hand side for Cameroon. Taking up the line, and Mozambique steal it back, and really good intent on their press in this second half. Melito has the ball stolen off him, runs out of room, and that will be a throw in again on the left hand side for Cameroon in white. So Nagida asking for options, gets it short, and then plays a pass back into his goalkeeper. Passy, who hasn't really had a save to make, did have to pick the ball out of the net from that great strike from Katamo, but other than that hasn't had a lot to do. And Camden breaks forward in midfield, finds Nagida on the left hand side. He's going to hook a ball in towards the box. He's going to take a deflection off of Nanami, and that'll be a corner on the far side for Cameroon. Nagida and Nanami have been at it all game. Great battle between the two of them. Tackles flying in and blocks of crosses all evening so far. So it'll be a corner. Swung in, away swinging towards Namasa. Is clear off the line, and then another great save after second goal scorer Kafan turned it towards the goal. And Bruno Lang has gone down and requiring some attention. But Urabal made a good save. The initial header was blocked on the line, and the second attempt from Kafan was side-footed towards goal. It's a save you'd want your keeper to make frequently, but it was point blank in the end. Did really well to push it away from danger as well. Cameroon back in possession. Basogog is going to swing that in towards the back post where Kafan is, and it's a diver again away to his right from Urabal. Tips it away. Abime and Kafan both up for the same ball, and a save for the cameras there as Urabal goes sprawling away to the right hand side. Corner again, an outswinger from the left hand side towards Namasin. It's appeals for handball in there from Cameroon. It's gone behind for the goal kick. I think the appeals are pretty half-hearted. Obviously, Urabal didn't play the first 2 games for Mozambique in goal. It was Sulani, so he'll be doing everything he can to try and cement his position as number 1. Cameroon are going to make another change here, and it's going to be Frank Magri coming off. Been quite quiet as the striker from Toulouse. And he's going to be replaced by Etta Eyong, 22-year-old striker. Got the winner in the first game against Gabon in the 6th minute. Came on as well late in the second half against the Ivory Coast. He'll be looking to double his tally at least for the competition if he can. Long ball forward from Mozambique, and Chimito goes down and he's been pulled back by Niamsi, and it's a yellow card for Niamsi. I think Chimito was almost trying to get in behind. There's a definite shirt pull from the centre-back. So he's earned his booking. I think what saved him really is that the ball was probably so long and Chimito was probably struggling to get to the long ball anyway. So free kick for Mozambique. Halfway inside the Cameroon half. Swung in towards the back post. It's been picked up on that right side by Bond. Comes back to Nanami, but stolen away by Abime, one of the many second half substitutes. 73 minutes gone. Mozambique 1, Cameroon 2, and Nanami's going to try and launch a long throw into the box from the right hand side. Level with the edge of the area. It's a high loopy one. First header away by Cameroon, and they'll try and break, but been stopped by Mozambique and then sliced up in the air, and they'll go out of play for a Mozambique throw. Midway inside the Cameroon half on the right hand side, taken quickly by Nanami. Threads it down the line for Bond, but half cleared by Cameroon, but turned over again by Mozambique in possession. Ball forward towards Chimito. Chimito gets it on the corner of the box on the right hand side, finds Nanami again. Difficult position for him to cross from, but does well to win a throw in right down by the corner flag. Nami drives the ball on his shirt and comes forward and sends another high ball in, half clear, but only as far as Kambala, who can volley from the edge of the area, but it is always rising, and that will be a goal kick for Cameroon. Almost a bit of a half chance there, but had to take it early as he was being closed down by Abime and can only volley the ball over the bar. Play restarts and long ball over the halfway line, but Mozambique give it away and Cameroon will try and break. Loose pass in the end. This ball's a bit scrappy and bouncing around. Dove gets it under control and finds Kambala, who then releases Abadala. He then finds Bond on the right hand side. Ball in towards Melito. He can't get it to Chimito, so long ball out by Cameroon, only to halfway, and Langer on the left wing picks it up, finds Gildo. Gildo into Chimito, but he's been muscled out of it. An opportunity for Camden to bring it away. Cameroon on the halfway line, happy just to keep possession and stall time. 75 minutes gone. Ball threaded down towards Eteyong for him to chase. He does get there, but keeper comes out and picks it up and rolls it straight out to Kambala. Kambala into midfield. Mozambique have stepped it up since going 2-1 down, but still unable to really work a passing in the Cameroonian net. But the Mamas of Mozambique will keep knocking on that door. Long ball forward from Lang. It just slices off the top of his foot, and that will roll through to the keeper. all in purple, rolls it out to Niamsi. Niamsi with the brightest boots on the pitch. Bright yellow, standing out an absolute mile. Plays the ball forward, and Mozambique steal it away on halfway again. The sloppy pass gives the possession back to Olivier Kemen, who would break forward. That's a great tackle in there from Kambala of Mozambique. He finds Melito on this left-hand side, but he's going to have to go back to Langer, who works it left to right to Chamboko. Chamboko finds Nanami. Mozambique slow it down, and they go from right to left with Emilson Dove. Dove finds Langer. Good press from Cameroon, but Langer steps inside and finds his centre-back once again. Chamboko spreads it out right towards Nanami. Nanami nowhere to go, so just turns it around and gives it back to Chamboko. Chamboko then gives it away, and it's a loose pass, and Cameroon are in here. It's 2-on-1. He's going to thread it across, and they've made a real hash of it. An excellent opportunity for Adimbe, and he couldn't get the strike away. It was almost too easy, and Mozambique lived to fight another day. Great tackle, and ball spread out right for Melito to chase, but they'll go out of play. Ete Young just threaded it across to Kafan, and between them they just couldn't get the ball in the goal. Really snatched at the chance. And Captain Basogog just comes over and gives a little bit of healthy feedback. Cameroon know that third goal would really put the game to bed. And long ball forward, and Kafan's going to bring it down on the right hand side. Plays it in towards Eterion, but headed away. And forward come Mozambique. Real end-to-end sort of action at the moment in Agadir. 78 minutes gone. Mozambique know that realistically, third place is all they're going to be able to muster out of this group. They would need to get 2 goals in the last 12 minutes plus additional time unanswered to rise up the table. A draw would be no good for them, as their head-to-head record with Ivory Coast is a 1-0 defeat. So it's looking more and more likely that it will be Mozambique going to Fez on Monday to play unbeaten Nigeria. But I'm sure if you told them at the start of the competition that they'd get through to the knockout phases, they would have absolutely snapped your hand off and taken anyone to play. So credit to the Mambas of Mozambique, who have put up a good fight so far this evening. Basogog gets the ball taken off him by Langer. And Dove's got some defensive work to do with his back to goal at the moment. Under pressure from Kemen, gets a shove in the back and goes down. The Mozambique captain took over from Dominguez when he went off. Long ball played forward by Mozambique straight away, and Chamito would keep it in on the left-hand side. Level with the edge of the area. Tries to go around Woe, but good foot in from the centre-back. Cameroon can't clear it away, though. Still under a bit of pressure. And Boyano can only flick it up in the air and wins himself a throw-in off of Melke Melito. Boyomo with the throw in the full-back position, takes 4 steps forward and launches it up the line, headed back by Mozambique as they try and win the second ball, and they do. Chamito can't bring it down, but Melke can, but then he loses the ball to Niamsi right by down the corner flag, and he thunders it long up towards halfway, and a good header from Dove, and the side in red bring the ball away and win themselves a throw-in on halfway. Still 2-1 here, 80 minutes gone. Cameroon lead, coming from behind, responding to Katamo's 23rd minute left-footed strike. It was a fantastic goal from Jenny Katamo, but he has been gazumped by Kafan's strike to put Cameroon 2-1 up. 2 great goals in this game if you do get the opportunity to see them. Foul by Basogog on Dove, captain to captain. And the Cameroonian captain's going to get a yellow card for his troubles. Just lent too much into Edmilson Dove, according to our Moroccan official this evening. In fact, it looks like it's Ete-Yong who's going to get the yellow card there. The man who got Cameroon's competition off to the best start against Gabon. Only 6 minutes before he put the ball in the back of the net. Cameroon managed to hold on to that game 1-0. And ultimately it's looking like that result, along with this one, is going to put them at top of the Group F at the end of tonight. So even a Mozambique equaliser, if the score stayed the same, would keep Cameroon at the top of Group F, where they will look to take on Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso came second in Group E behind Algeria. So that will be the match that the Group F winners will have, whoever they may be. But we will find out in the next 8 minutes plus additional time. Forward come Mozambique on the left-hand side, and Gildo loses out to a sliding tackle from Niamsi. But Mozambique can wrestle the ball back. Ball at the feet of Abdallah. Finds Gildo, and some neat footwork gets himself out of trouble. Kambala puts the ball in towards the box, and it's going to be flicked towards goal, and it's just sliced off the top of his foot. Zhao Bond just floats into a great area and couldn't get the shot on target. And that's a really good chance for Mozambique as they give away a foul in frustration. Bond with a wry smile on his face. Almost had too much time on his hands. Couldn't believe he'd managed to get into the box unopposed. Lovely ball in from Kambala, and credit to Bond. It was a difficult opportunity in the end, coming over his shoulder. Manages to connect, but can only slice it up in the air. And the second half substitute will rue that opportunity. Forward come Cameroon on the edge of the box. Ayong finds Nagida on the left-hand side, trades passes, and then with a step over tries to break into the box, and he's shrugged off by Nanima on the right-hand side. Forward come Mozambique, ends halfway, and Chimito does really well to keep possession, holds the ball up and finds Kambala again. Kambala under a bit of pressure from Ete-Yong, moves the ball on, and forward come Melke, and his ball forwards to Chimito is just too strong, and they would go all the way through to Apassi in the Cameroon nets. Still yet to make a save in this game, Davis Apassi, but did have to pick the ball out of the nets in the first half after that great strike from Kitamo. 84 minutes gone. Niamsi fires it long towards Kafan to chase, but headed away by Mozambique, and they retain possession in the defensive half. Nanami fights off Nagida again and just turns around and gives it to Chiamboko. Chiamboko finds Dove. Plenty of room ahead of him. Just stands on the ball and will give it back to his centre-back partner Chiamboko as they move it from left to right. Ball up to Nanami. Trades passes with Abdallah. Abdallah into Kambalo. Spreads it left from the centre circle to Langer. Midway inside the Cameroon half. A couple of step overs and then goes inside Basogog. Looks to shape a pass, but still going. Then finds Abdallah again. He's going to shoot from distance, blocked by Niamsi. Ball back with Chamboko on halfway for Mozambique, as Ivory Coast have got an equaliser. Come from 2-0 down to be 2-2 now in their game. Ball in for Chamboko, and it's trying to find Gildo. Gildo just steps over it and can't retain possession, and will run through to the keeper. So, Ivory Coast get themselves back on level terms. And if they can find another, that will put them at the top of Group F. Unless Cameroon can score another goal here. So good that these games all get played as they do in every tournament. The last group game, they all get played together just to keep the tension even higher. So Cameroon fans in the stadium will know that it's a little bit precarious at the moment. Dove in the left back position looks to play it long, and it comes off of Captain Basogog. And that will be a throw-in the left back position for Mozambique. Bruno Langer takes it short to Abdallah, gets it back and switches it out right towards Nanami, who will go to battle again with Nagida. Nagida gets his foot in and turns that out for a throw-in to Mozambique. Taken back to Chamboko. He goes right to left to Dove. Dove happy just to keep it moving across the line. Finds Langer, who goes into Kambala. Plenty of time to spin and turn. He will then give it to Abdallah. Abdallah finds Chamboko on halfway. Back in the centre circle. Plenty of room out left for Mozambique on this left-hand side. Short change of pass. Then Gildo's been released in behind Biomo. Steps over, but Biomo does really well to get back, and forward will come Cameroon. Eteong tries to release his captain Basogo down the right-hand side, and great sliding tackle from Mozambique's captain Dove to poke it away from Christian Basogog. So throw in for Cameroon. 88 minutes gone. Cameroon's hopes of topping Group F still very much in their hands. They currently have 7 points, Ivory Coast 5, but an Ivory Coast goal, if nothing changes here, would put them top of the group. Biomi swings it in towards Kafan, but headed away only as far as Kemen, who's given it away very sloppily, and Mozambique will bring it forward. Nanami threads it long for Chamito to chase, but Nyasi gets the header first. He keeps it in play. Cameroon switching from left to right, and Boyoma will come forward. Hooks it up the line for Kafan to chase. He's managed to get into the box, and it's just bounced away from him. And there's some really bright keeping by Urubao to come and steal it away. Kafan, who's wonder strike, puts Cameroon in front. Mozambique come forward as we enter the last minute of the 90. There will be time added on for all the subs that have taken place, and Woe with a sliding tackle puts the ball out of play. So ball in from Mozambique, and it's flicked off the header. Niamsi has gone towards his own goal, and Devers Apassis had to put a bit of a jump in to make sure that that was going safely over. It will be a corner for the Mambas of Mozambique in the last moments of this game. Apassi did need to tip that over in the end. Hasn't had an awful lot to do, the Cameroonian keeper, but was concentrating to the last there, as we're about to find out how many minutes we have left. Fourth official just readying the board as the clock ticks on to 90. We are going to have a corner on this left-hand side. It's going to be Bond to swing it in. He puts it in towards the near post. First headers from a Cameroon defender, and then they can clear it away, and forward comes Basogog with pace on the left-hand side. Good tackle in there from Nanami, who has been exceptional for Mozambique. Started the game on the left-hand side, had to come over to the right in that early change. when Kalila went off, and it's just been confirmed that the fourth official signalled 4 minutes of additional time. Still Ivory Coast being held 2-2 in their game with Gabon. 1 minute of the 4 added on, gone here. Gabon were 2 goals to the good against the Ivory Coast, and they are just coming into the dying moments of their match. Evan Gesand of Aston Villa got the equaliser over there. Mozambique back with their keeper, Urabali. Switches it to his right foot and then gives it away. High up for Eteyong, who looks into the box where Kafan is, but really calm defensive header from Kabala, nods it back to his keeper, who then decides to go long this time rather than giving it away short, and wins a throw-in for his side on halfway. 2 of the 4 minutes are up here. Can Mozambique get a last-minute equaliser? The history makers. Ball over on the right-hand side, and Namami gets away from Nagisa. But Nagida then actually gets his foot in on the second attempt and forces him back. So Kamboko goes left to Dove. Dove can find Langer high on this left-hand side. Langer will float into the centre of the park and gives it to Bond. Bond moves it on to Nanami again, who tries to give it back to the man, and the pass is too short. And I don't believe it. There's been a last-minute goal in the other game, and it has big implications to Cameroon here, because the Ivory Coast have gone 3-2 up from 2-0 down. And as things stand, that will mean that the Ivory Coast will top the group. Unbelievable scenes over there as Mozambique come forward again, and Cameroon can only slice it away. So as things stand, the Ivory Coast will win Group F on goal difference. They haven't been top at all this evening until the very last moments of their game. And I will give you all the permutations of that very shortly. So Nanami comes forward and throws the ball in towards the box, and it's going to fall back for him, and he strikes it right-footed, and that will go out of play high on the left-hand side. Might have even gone out for a throw-in. So the Ivory Coast full turnaround, and it's Bazumane Toure of Hoffenheim who has put them in front. As we enter the final moments of this game, Cameroon bring the ball forward, and they know that a goal here would put them back on top of the group. Basogog switches it over to the left-hand side for Kafani to chase, but that's going to go all the way through to Urabal, the Mozambique keeper. And the referee here calls halt to proceedings. The final whistle goes in match day 3 of Group F, and it finishes Mozambique 1, Cameroon 2. Cameroon coming from behind after Jenny Katamo's 23rd minute strike with his left foot from just outside the area, curled into the bottom corner. A fantastic goal from the young man who plays his football for Sporting in Portugal. However, the Mambas of Mozambique couldn't hold the lead for long. Only 6 minutes before Nene turned the ball into his own net after confusion since Magri hit the post. They got themselves into half-time at 1-1, but it was down to Christian Kafane, the young 19-year-old for Bayer Leverkusen, who struck the ball from distance and thumped it into the top right-hand corner to win the game eventually for his side. Mozambique put up a great fight, but couldn't ultimately force many saves out of Devis Apasi, who had a pretty simple night other than picking the ball out of the goal. But as time ticks on in the other game, it's looking like the Ivory Coast will hold on. So that means that Group F, as it stands, will finish with the Ivory Coast finishing top on 7 points. Cameroon second by goal difference with 7, and Mozambique with 3 in third. So it's looking like in the dying embers of that game, it will be the Ivory Coast going to play Burkina Faso in Marrakesh on Tuesday nights. Cameroon will have probably the trickier tie of South Africa in Rabat on Sunday. So not many days to turn around for them. And therefore, Mozambique, finishing third in the group, will play Nigeria in Fez. But from me, Matt Roberts, here on Flash Score, it is the end of football for the African Cup of Nations in 2025. The competition will continue into 2026, along with plenty of matchday commentaries for you on the Flash Score app. I wish you good night, Happy New Year. Thank you for listening to Flash Score, and we will see you very shortly. It's finished Mozambique 1, Cameroon 2. Happy New Year. Good night.